promise I will not tell our audience that you called me such a derogatory name right before we start. I can't believe you'd say something like that.
You know what? You know what? I would say it again.
Is
I
it
don't
one of
care if I get
those
canceled.
it's yeah, is it one of those things that's uh like you can only call someone that if you are that yourself?
No, it's not actually derogatory. It's just a curse word. It's not a very nice word.
Right. Yeah, well, yes, but
Because I mean,
I think
because the word itself isn't a slur.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
not
but what
used as a
makes a
slur.
slur?
A
We
slur
had
is usually a slur. Here we go. This is the beginning topic. Because
apparently.
off rip, a slur is usually something that targets something that is, I don't know if it's stereotypical, but it targets something about, usually about somebody's like identity, I guess. If
Sure.
you think about it, like,
Okay.
because when you think about slurs, it has something to do with either somebody's race or their gender or things like that, as opposed to just because like you don't say fuck is derogatory, but fuck is not a nice word either.
Well, yeah, but if you use it as an adjective, right? Like
Well, then that's not saying fuck. That's fucking, which
or no,
adds a lot of intensity
or
to a word.
you could slap an on the end of it.
Fucker. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess, but I mean, calling somebody a motherfucker doesn't have the same weight as calling somebody a a racial slur.
I that is true, but not all slurs are racial. Clearly the one that you called me before this was not.
It's not, and it's not a slur.
All right, all right. I
I
think
think
we would
it's
have
just
to get
very vulgar, and
yeah.
I think because it's kind of a taboo word to some people,
Sure.
I think that's why.
I think you can assign a lot of weight to the meaning behind something.
Yeah, no, yes.
I could call you a dingleberry,
How
and
fucking dare you?
yeah, you should take offense to that because I mean the highest amount of possible offense.
I think we've talked about this before, actually.
Have we really?
I'm pretty sure we have, because I remember we released an episode where we did something very similar to this, and we never said what the word was. And some people listen, message me, and they're like, "You never told us what the word was, so I'm mad at you."
Well, to all of our audience, you don't want to know. It's better if you don't know.
Is it really?
I mean, I guess that's up to you. I was trying. I can not protect you.
I mean, because okay, hear me out, because it's in a because the word itself
Mm-hmm.
is not derogatory. It's not. It's not meant to be
It
demeaning.
was the way
It's not
you
meant to
used
be
it.
insulting.
Or are you trying to turn this around on me? You're saying that my inbuilt prejudices. You just said that
Yeah, you're
word.
just profiling me right now. That's what's
Yeah,
going on.
and my internally internalized sexism. Is that
I
what it would
think
be?
I think you only take offense to this word because you know how strongly a person of a specific accent can use this word and feel like they've ripped you apart.
I suppose that's true. You know. I also
But like,
there are certain words that I've been told. Like, there's one that I still have a memory of you telling me that you didn't like a particular word. I still have bad associations with that word.
I don't know what word it was, but that sounds like me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh well, I know Isaiah wouldn't like this word, so whenever I hear anybody else say that word, I'm like, I instantly, what is it? I get the ick. I think that's what they call it these days. I
Oh,
instantly get
whoa!
the ick,
You hear
like
that,
all over my
audience?
body. I'm like, oh
I
man,
trained him.
like
I
thank God
conditioned
Isaiah's
him.
not here for this.
Yeah, no, there's a few words that are like that. Is this one of those words for you?
No, I would say that personally, the only ones that I have are the ones that other people have told me about.
I see. See, I used to not like this word either. But then I remembered I'm a homo.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Well, that answers that question.
And it's all about the scene and the context.
I
Did
suppose
I
that's
use it in
true.
a derogatory way to describe you? Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay, well, there it is, everybody. He's a racist. He's a
I'm not
racist.
this
He's
has
a
nothing to do with
sexist.
race. The word is not racist in any way, shape, or form. There's
Well,
nothing racist. It's just
that's
a
great.
derogatory term,
Mhm.
usually
Mhm.
used to describe a woman.
Oh, there he goes.
However, the context in which I was using it It has the same connotation as if I called you a bitch.
Okay, alright, well, you twist it however you wanna twist it, we'll just roll with
Hey
that.
John, stop trying to gaslight me.
Look, I can't be offended by very many things, okay? I can choose to be offended by certain things.
I could call you a
Oh?
specific food that you dump in soup if I wanted to. That would be offensive,
Yeah,
right?
I
But have I
not
ever
to
said I've
me.
never said that word to you before.
To be fair, that's true. To be fair, I've never had anybody with intent come at me with any kind of language.
Exactly, except for me because I'm different.
That's yeah, but not intent. There's not well, maybe there has been, but
The
not
only
to
intent
like
is to piss you off.
exactly. Nobody's gone like, "I'm gonna tear you down. I'm gonna call you
I'm gonna
every
rip
word
you
I
to
can
shreds,
imagine."
brother.
Yeah, it's been more like it's been in a far more, I guess, I don't know, playful seems like the wrong word to describe it.
I mean, but not serious
Exactly,
manner.
exactly. It's always been in the context of familiarity rather than
Yeah, 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 yeah.
whatever the opposite of anonymity. That's not
Yeah, I've never
probably the
tried to
right
rip
one.
you apart. It'd be too
Exactly.
easy.
But speaking of being ripped apart, did you know that there is a franchise of movies called Leprechaun?
What?
Yes. There are like 5 or 6 of them, I think. And it starts pretty simple enough, right? It's about a leprechaun. It's honestly, if I could be offended by something, I felt like I should have been offended by this movie. Really, this whole concept of movies, right? Because it's first of
Mhm.
all, it's played the lead enemy, right, is a leprechaun, played by oh man, a very famous dwarf actor whose name eludes me at the moment, but it will come back to me.
It's me.
It is not you, sadly. It is not you. You are not born in before 1993. It's with Jennifer
Oh.
Aniston. Oh, Warwick Davis, right? Warwick
Mhm.
Davis is the guy that plays the leprechaun. I don't know a whole lot about leprechaun lore. This is sort of following up on my exploration of werewolves and vampires.
Oh my god.
I don't know how
You
I really got to leprechauns because we're I feel like I'm kind of reaching for monsters at this point, but
Yeah?
I know a lot about leprechaun lore, right? There's
Why?
a pot of gold. There's they don't like you to take their gold, but I've never really viewed leprechauns in a horror aspect, which is exactly what this franchise tried to do.
Yeah.
Uh and I felt derivative enough that in certain contexts I probably could have been offended as someone with Irish heritage in the
Uh-huh.
background.
I see.
I mean, it could be worse. There are also, I mean, the franchise starts normally enough, but it pretty quickly goes right. These are the movies, right? Leprechaun 1, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3. We're fine, right? We're in the same kind of boat here. Leprechaun 4
Okay.
is in space.
What?
I I haven't seen all of these Leprechaun movies. I've only seen the first one because I went, this is ridiculous. I I don't want to keep watching this knowing that there's 2 more after this. Then they go to space. Then there's Leprechaun in the Hood and back to the
What?
Hood.
What the fuck? Are these all by the same directors?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. Steve Iron Lumi.
I thought you were
I
about to go
don't think
Steve
so.
Buscemi.
No, because the first director is Mark Jones.
Mhm.
He directed not even the first 3. He directed the first 1, then
Oh.
left. They've had a different director for every movie.
How did we get here? The writers' room has failed us.
I don't know, but they have gone to everyone. I mean, Ice-T was in Leprechaun in the Hood.
What the fuck?
Yep. I don't really know. But I felt like I should be offended by it. Just on the principle of why would you make
How many
it's
movies do they have?
the
6?
yeah. No, 7. Yeah.
7. Good
Plus,
lord.
if you don't count the remakes or the reboots, I
Oh,
guess, which
no.
are pretty universally panned.
When was the latest one made?
2018.
Good
Well, the
lord.
reboot was 2014, and they swapped out Hornswoggle, who is a wrestler, for Warwick's character.
Mm, interesting.
Oh, and then I guess they went with a child actor for the last one.
This is going I'd put this in the same realm as Fast and Furious because it starts off just some some guys who like to race cars, and then turns into like, oh, we're gonna pull off a couple heists. Oh, let's rob a whole bank and get away with it.
Yeah.
And then somehow, and then they're in Tokyo, just drifting or whatever. And then they're in space.
Yeah. And then they step back from space to go to the hood.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I don't know who made that jump, but let's just say that the early 2000s were a wild time.
I just gotta say, because I think Fast and Furious 9 is the one where they went to space, and that one was a couple years ago. That one wasn't that long ago.
That's true, yeah. Well,
Or maybe
Fast
it was the 10th one,
X,
one of those
I
two.
think Fast X came out in 2022 maybe or 23,
One of
with the
them.
last one coming out I think this next year.
Hold on, are they in the works for another one?
No, Fast X 10 Part 2.
Are you Oh my god, of course they have a part 2. You gotta be
Well, because the
fucking
first
kidding
one is
me.
such a big climax. I mean, they do it on a dam of all places.
I haven't watched anything past Fast 5. No, I think I watched Fast 6. I don't
You're not
remember.
really missing too much. I
Oh,
mean,
I know.
there are some movies where you kind of watch them and you go like, this is kind of dumb and lame, and I should be watching something better. Then there are like the fun movies that are bad. Fast falls more into that sort of that first category where it's like,
Fast
yeah,
and
I get
Furious,
it.
it's it's taking the place of all of the action-packed movies from like back in the day. Because I mean, like, look at
Yeah.
the cast you have in Fast 11. You have Vin Diesel, Dwayne
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, Jason
Mm-hmm.
Statham,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa. Like, you
John
have your
Cena's in there too.
Izzy.
I
God
think
damn
so.
it! Like, they're putting in all these action movie stars, and of course, everyone's gonna eat it up because it's like they have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think at this point, they're just bringing all the movies together finally. Which they have Idris Elba in this movie too.
Yeah. Yeah. You
What?
you would think it's like the Avengers.
Might as well be. That's what they're doing. They're making a Fast and Furious extended universe.
That I dig it. I dig it. They should
Uh,
honestly they should have done what the MCU did and do origin films into like Fast and Furious 3 should have been Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
yeah. When should Fast and Furious have ended? I
Whoa,
think
that's
they should
a
have ended with the fifth movie because it was the perfect send off.
is that when the lead actor
Yeah, that's when what's his face passed away.
yeah.
And like they had the perfect ending. Everybody, or he found, or like his, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife, but she came back into the movie after like I think she got brainwashed or something, and then they came back together,
Yeah.
and it
Oh, you're
was
talking about
nice. Letty,
yeah, Dom's wife.
yeah,
Mhm.
like everything was all great and all, and then they're like, yeah, well, here's another one.
Yeah. The story continues.
And then I think like I don't know if it's in the fifth or the sixth one, but like they get like pardoned for other crimes, so like they don't have to do crime shit anymore. But they're like, you know what? I just love the thrill so much.
More or less. They decide I think to rob someone that well, it's sort of like if you steal from thieves, it doesn't, like neither of you like they can't go to the cops because they're already
Yeah,
breaking the law. So you might as well just steal from them and get away with it.
yeah. I because like I know some people might have felt that way towards like the MCU movies or like the Transformers movies, especially because they keep pumping those out. But it's like there's
Huh?
so much world building and lore and like different stories that they tell throughout the Transformers movies that it's like they have a different story to tell every time. With the Fast and Furious movies,
All right.
like okay, I only pick those up because like they're action packed movies. They're the same people who like the Fast and Furious movies are probably gonna like the Transformers movies.
Yeah, I would say there's some crossover there for sure.
Yeah, and so
Cars for one.
it's exactly. But like, if you think about it, if you think about it, there's so many concepts that have been unexplored of Transformers that it's like anytime they make a new movie, it's like, what are they gonna do this time? Versus Fast and Furious, they've already been to space. What more can they do?
Yeah. We're
They've
scraping.
toppled they've toppled empires. They've robbed from rich people. They've heisted banks.
Yep.
What more is there left to do other than to just start robbing from each other?
I love this topic. It's such an easy one. We could just dunk on the Fast and the Furious
Like, don't get
franchise.
me wrong, my mom loved those movies, so I have a special place in my heart for them. But, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. There has sort of been like a lack. I feel like a lack of especially franchised action movies. I just recently found out about the Equalizer as a brand.
Yeah, I hear
I
that
don't
one's
know if
pretty big too.
have
I
you
haven't
seen.
watched it.
Okay, okay. Well, there's 3 movies and a TV show. I haven't seen the TV show, but I have seen the movies.
Yeah,
Just imagine like Home Alone mixed with John Wick, at least for the first movie. That's kind of what we're getting. I mean, the
yeah,
whole climax of that film is Denzel Washington. He's the main. He is the Equalizer.
yeah.
Shows up. Well, they didn't even show up. He sort of gets like hunted down, and then there's a big final showdown in what is basically Home Depot.
Not Home
It's pretty
Depot.
sick. It's very gory and violent and very fun. The
Mhm.
weird thing is they try and juxtapose it with I don't mean, how do you even describe it? There's like 10 side characters. All of these 10 side characters are just regular people doing regular things that they're like, "Oh, we have problems." And then it sort of explores their problems, right? In the first movie, there's a dude who wants to become a security guard. So Denzel
Mhm.
is training him. He's helping him lose weight, he's helping him put on muscle so that he can hit down to his goal rate, so that he can pass the security guard bar. I don't know
Mhm.
what exactly he's supposed to do, right? But that's just one of the characters. There are 3 movies worth of this, all set in different places, keep in mind. All of these people have like it's it's weird because you know that he's going to kill a lot of people.
Mhm.
The question is, how do we get there? Because he really is like evil Batman. I don't even know if evil is the right word for it. He's like chaotic Batman, where Batman has his
Such as
rule,
Batman.
I won't kill anybody, right? No, Denzel doesn't have that problem. He's like, you have committed a slight crime, you die
Oh
now.
no. He said,
You have
"You've
died.
inconvenienced me. Now
Yeah,
you must pay."
you are already dead, and I'm gonna
Oh
use the
no.
timer on my watch and guesstimate how much time it's gonna take for me to kill you. Is it badass? Yes. Hell
Mm.
yes. And the soundtrack is also really cool, at least for the first 2. The third one's a little bit weird because the third one I think exists in its own. Oh Jesus. The third one exists in its own dimension, mainly
What?
because it's set in Italy,
Mhm.
and I have been told that there are subtitles for the Italian parts. However, the copy that I had
Oh
did not
no.
have English subtitles. It had I turned subtitles on for just about every movie because I don't know, TikTok. I blame TikTok or me getting
Mhm.
older. It's hard for me to hear and pay attention without fully focusing on reading their lips, right? I think that's a
Oh,
problem
you
that a
don't
lot of
watch
people
enough
have.
anime, clearly.
Well, they don't. I mean, even in anime, they don't fully 100% lip sync.
No, that's fair.
Depends on the anime, I guess. But anyway, this The Equalizer 3 set in Italy. I would say 50%, maybe that's like a low number, I would say. 50% of this movie is in Italian.
Mhm.
You tell me if you can. All right, is this a good or a bad thing? I was able to watch The Equalizer 3. I didn't understand half of what was being said, and I still understood what the movie was.
That's good.
That's a good thing. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Because it means like they translate, not literally translated, but they translated it well enough to where you don't need the subtitles to pick up on what's going on, so you
Right.
can still enjoy the movie without having to sit here and be like, what's happening? Especially if like they do like the whole exposition thing, and they're just talking, and you're like, I don't know what's happening, and this stuff is probably crucial to the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I thought was going on. I made it about halfway through the movie before I went there. Well, because every time they would start speaking in Italian, right, it would go from, Denzel going, "Oh, what are we gonna do about this? I just want to. I'm retired, right? Blah blah blah." Then it would go to another scene, right, where there's Italian people speaking Italian, and then the subtitles would be in Italian, the words in Italian in brackets, or speaking in Italian.
I
Some
love when they do
breakdown
that. Speaks Italian.
that I was like, this am I just not supposed to understand this? I checked all the subtitles that I had available to me. None of them were I don't know, none of them were translate this to English for me. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
So I was just having to There's a video that I've watched, a piece of content creation online where it's somebody lampooning the alien speech.
Mhm.
It's basically two guys watching a movie where it's sort of that scene from the first Star Wars where Han Solo's talking to Greedo,
Yeah.
and the whole time he's speaking, it's Greedo who's basically speaking in an alien language, and the guys on the couch are going, "Are we supposed to be understanding this? Because there's no subtitles on the screen." And they
Mhm.
go through the whole process of, well, maybe we should turn on the subtitles and see. Nah, they wouldn't make you do that. Plus, if it was in theaters, it wouldn't make any sense. And eventually, they do turn on the subtitles, and it says "speaking alien." That's basically what I was experiencing, where I was watching this, going, "Am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to not be understanding this?" And then there would be
Yes.
times when Denzel, who doesn't speak Italian, or his character sort of barely speaks it, right, is like,
Mhm.
"What did they say?" And then the other character will translate for Denzel, and I was taking that as, okay, now they're translating for the audience too, so maybe we're not supposed to be understanding this. But then later on, there are entire sequences where it's the mafia talking to the mafia in Italian, and you're watching it going, "Oh, your language is beautiful, but I don't understand what you're saying. Oh my god, that dude just got kicked out the window. What is happening?" And then it cuts away. It's like, "Oh, okay, I don't know what's going on." But because I had to Google it, I had to look it up, be like, "Did I get a bad copy? Do I
Yeah.
just not understand what this is?" And the results that I found were from, like, the "How to Speak Italian" or "Speaking Italian," I think is the name of the subreddit. It's like it's like one of those communities where they try and find stuff that is not translated purposefully so that you can learn how to speak that language.
Okay.
And they were like, "This is such a great movie for us, for all Italian that are wanting to learn Italian, because so much of it is, and you just can't get it without, it's like a
Getting it.
good intermediary movie, because you don't
Yeah.
understand it if you don't, and they didn't translate it." But then other people were saying, "Yeah, it was translated, you idiot. Why didn't you just turn on the subtitles?" And I couldn't yell at my screen hard enough and go, "I tried. I had them on. It said speaking Italian in the thing."
What? Yeah. That's funny as heck.
It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
You say, "Oh, it's a good thing." They did so much of it where yeah, I didn't need to understand what the people were saying in Italian to understand what was going on.
I think you just have FOMO.
I mean, I guess I feel like I missed out. Like I said, 50% of the movie was in Italian. Even the parts where Denzel was there and there were people in the background speaking Italian to each other, and he's just going, "I think I understood that word." And then
Yeah.
me, like, knowing probably 10 words in Italian, maybe, that I could recognize by hearing them and
Mm.
sort of understanding via very loose context clues. This sounds like a flex. I'm not flexing. I didn't understand anything. I understood, like, "Thank you," or, "You're
Grazie.
welcome." Yeah, yeah, or "Would you like tea?" Like, "Oh, I, like, vaguely understood because they said this word in this language, that must be what they're talking about based on the visual clues."
Mhm.
But I don't know, I feel like I personally feel like I missed out on a lot because they didn't subtitle it properly, but then that's just my own fault at that point.
Did they not subtitle it properly, or are you just a stinky boy?
It could be the stinky part. I genuinely don't know, except I am showered, unlike somebody else in this chat.
Yeah, don't talk about yourself like that. That's crazy.
I'm talking about you.
Hey,
Jerk off,
hey, hey, well,
jerkwad.
see, the way you said that, that's
Uh-huh,
derogatory.
yeah, be offended. I mean
I
that
can't believe
offensively.
this. Wow.
I smelled like a cool summer breeze. I actually don't remember what I smelled like. I bought um I mean, it's not, I don't know if it's cologne or perfume, and I don't really know what the difference is between the two of them. It's a
I
scent.
think it's just I believe it's, like, either due to, like, how they create it, or or it might be, based on, like, how they market it. But let me let's hey, audience,
Did
we're an educational
do you hear him
podcast.
Googling in the background? Yeah, he's Googling because we don't know the difference between perfume and cologne. To me, it's a matter of gender.
Yes.
Perfume is what women wear, cologne is the exact same thing, but it's what dudes wear. That
That's
can't be
also how
right.
I assume, but apparently the difference is the concentration and the longevity. Perfume is concentrated and lasts longer. Cologne is lighter and fresher with a shorter lifespan. In terms of concentration, perfume, eau de parfum,
Eau de
uh,
parfum.
exactly. It typically contains 15 to 20% fragrance oils versus eau de cologne, which usually contains only about 2 to 4. But I don't believe that because how strong this shit smells.
Yeah, I have received and have probably 4 different types of cologne.
Mm,
I I mean, I can smell the bottle when I open up the packaging and I'm like, this is potent stuff. But then
yeah,
I got like a random sampler pack from that same little I don't even know what there's a backstory behind all that, but I also have like what I'm guessing are perfumes. And I'm like, okay, this, most of this is potent stuff. There was
yeah,
one that I spritzed and I went, this is a nice smell. I could use this and not have a problem with it. And so that's what I've been using for the past probably 2 years. And I
yeah.
still have like half the bottle left. And I use it probably every day. So
Interesting.
I'm a big fan of perfume over. I mean, I'm sure there is a cologne that I would like, but all the ones that I have are brutal. And then the one that I did like was what I referred to as a perfume, and it's far nicer. It's much less. It doesn't make me dizzy when I smell it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm the kind of person that could walk into like a Bed Bath and Beyond and go, "This is a lot." I don't know where these candles are, but they're in here somewhere, and I smell them, and I'm getting lightheaded.
Oh, I see.
I don't know
So
what's wrong with
fragrances
me.
mess with
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I'm kind of that way, but it's more so for candle. I think it's specifically for smoke though. Like because
Like fire smoke? Okay, okay, yeah, sure.
candle smoke gives me headaches and migraines, but also like just cigarette smoke does as well, and sometimes
Mm.
incense. So I don't know if it's a smoke or if it's like the strong fragrance that really like messes with me. But like I have a
Yeah,
wallflower that I have in all the time, and normally it doesn't really mess with me. I mean, there's some times where I'll like wake up with a really bad headache, but I usually equate that to just either bad sleep or dehydration though. I've never
that's
really been
fair.
like,
Yeah.
oh, it has to be because of the smell.
Yeah, I think some people are just more sensitive to changes in scent
Yeah,
and
especially
smell.
strong ones.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you must have hated middle school.
I didn't go to middle school.
Oh yeah, that's right. You lucked out.
I
You
was
didn't have.
homeschooled.
That explains why you are the way you are.
Why? Special, cool, unique,
Yeah, let's go with those
amazing,
words.
highly intelligent,
I would use
evolved.
other descriptive words, but sure. You
Uh-huh,
say
uh-huh.
tall?
I said evolved.
Oh.
Although the torture rack that we had that stretched out our spines, that did help. That did make me, I
Yeah,
think it
if you
gave me a
don't
couple
know,
extra inches.
homeschooling your kids increases their height limitations.
Yep. Well, we went on a real deep dive of the Middle Ages, and
Mm.
the parts on torture were pretty awesome.
Oh, I believe it.
Yep. Yep. We watched The
But you're
Princess
also
Bride
crazy.
multiple times, and in order to fully appreciate The Princess Bride's torture sequences, you kind of got to do it yourself.
Yeah, not only do you have to do a 500 word breakdown of the entire movie and the main idea, you also have to live the experience.
Yep. Yep. So we died. We came back to life. Uh, we did the not the Heimlich, the CPR. We did the CPR.
Oh, they had to find the man that killed their father. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Hunt him down. Yeah, we had to deliver a speech. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Homeschooling
Yeah.
is awesome. Yeah,
I was
really,
homeschooled
really.
once.
What happened? You took an arrow to the knee?
Yeah, no, I was never homeschooled. I just wanted to relate, but I
Uh
can't.
huh. Yeah, he lied. He's never been homeschooled.
Hey,
He's never even.
lie,
He's never
lie.
even seen the inside of a homeschool.
Shut your. Not true. Not true.
Oh.
People at my church were homeschooled, and I've been in their houses before.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. Sorry, I spoke out of turn there. Clearly, that was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah. You non-public school going person.
Hey, I
You
went to public school. All right, elementary
not
and high
enough.
school. Elementary and high school.
Well, you
Enough to
miss
get the
you miss you
experience.
you were there for your barely sentient years
Mm-hmm.
and your puberty years. You weren't there for
Yep.
the years that mattered. You
Yeah.
didn't go through the. That's why you are the way you are. That's why you're so socially awkward.
Huh? Socially awkward?
Yeah, buddy.
How dare you call me socially? I am the
You
most
did not.
socially adaptable. You
Mm-hmm.
know what? I turned it around because I drove for Lyft. Oh, speaking of that, that freaked
Oh
me
boy.
out. That was what the plot of the Equalizer 2 was about.
Uh
He
huh.
drove Lyft and bonded with all the random people that got into his car. And
I
then
don't like that.
part of the setup for the third movie is him going, "I gotta get this money back for this dude who I drove in my Lyft one time." That's the
The
plot of the
heck?
third that's the, like, why he's in Italy in the first place. And I was
Well.
getting flashbacks because he was using the app, and they were, like, showing the app on screen, and he had the little thing in his window.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Denzel or me and, McCall, I think is the
Mr.
name of his
Equalizer.
character. Yep, Mr. Equalizer. We're the same, one and the same.
Hey, let's not get too crazy now.
No, but I genuinely do credit some of my ability to talk to random people to Lyft.
Oh, absolutely. For those who don't know, John used to be a complete recluse. He never left his room except to get food.
I also went to class.
Oh, I mean, I guess.
I was there to learn, not to make friends. All right.
Yeah. And how long did it take
I
you to learn?
enough. I was there the exact amount of time that I needed. By the grace of God, I
No,
was in and out
actually,
of there exactly when I needed to be in and out of there.
exactly by the grace of God.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with me repeating Japanese 4 times.
You repeated it 4 times?
I don't remember how many times I repeated it. I
Because, I
definitely
mean,
did
after
that.
the second time, you don't get the credit for it.
Huh? Yeah, you do.
No.
I did.
Because if you
I
if you
couldn't.
fail it the first time, you take it again. If you fail it again, then it's going to be your permanent grade.
Well, that's because I didn't fail it. I dropped it with a
Oh,
W or something like that.
you withdrew.
Yes, yes.
So then you didn't fail. You're just a quitter.
Well, technically, I quit out before I could fail. So it's like it's what do you
Didn't
call
you
it?
live in Japan for years?
Yes, I did. That's why.
Pathetic.
That's why. That's probably why. It's because I was abusing. See, back in my schooling days,
Pathetic.
I was used to being. I was used to coasting on my hyper intelligence.
Oh, were you
Yep.
talented and gifted growing up?
No. Well, I don't know genuinely because I didn't go to middle school, and I
That's
think
right.
that's
That's
when
right.
you
I
got
forgot.
diagnosed with
No, I got
special
diagnosed in the
gifted.
first grade.
Is that elementary?
First grade?
I don't know the grades.
Yeah, primary school.
Yeah, primary and then
This
secondary.
fucker. He said, "I
Look,
lived in Japan. I didn't go to middle
I
school. I
went
don't
to.
know what these Americans words mean."
Well, I didn't go to. No, I went to high school high school in Japan. That was my years. Was high school. Middle school was homeschooling in the States.
Okay, for context, I was about 6 years old.
Okay,
So elementary school, yes.
sure, okay, and that was
Mm.
when you got diagnosed with being cool and awesome.
Yeah, cool and awesome. I don't need to study for anything. I knew my times table was better than other people. So I got to go on cool trips.
Yeah,
Uh,
to my understanding, that's kind of what it would have been like.
that would have been you, except for the fact that you're lame.
I'm lame and got a far better experience. Shout out to my mom.
I'm not dissing on Mrs. John's mom at all. I'm sorry, Miss John's mom at all. But I'm dissing on you. Your years of missing middle school is why you stink so bad.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I
Yeah,
did
and
go to
that's
high school. I got the regular high school experience,
no,
minus
no,
the
no,
lame
no.
stuff that I determined that I didn't need.
Like what?
Uh, let me think. Let me think. I
Prom.
didn't go to my own graduation. Well, because I graduated early. I graduated a year early,
Mm,
so I didn't go to graduation or senior anything to do with seniors. Which I guess would probably include the prom, though I think juniors. I think everybody could go to our prom because we were kind of a smaller school.
yeah.
So I don't remember now. That was a
Ages
many
ago?
moons ago,
It was
and
like 10 years ago now, yeah?
it wasn't important to me then, and it's still not important to me now.
I was disappointed with my prom, but it was for
Okay,
meme
what was
reasons,
the
not
theme?
the theme was fire and ice. Or was that
That does sound
was
lame.
that or was that homecoming? No, I think it
Was
was
it
I think it was
Game of
prom.
Thrones themed? I mean, what?
No. It was just fire and ice, like, you dressed in blue and red type stuff.
Did it
Uh,
matter? Was it like at the end of the night you would like Red Rover and charge each other?
no, just that's just all it was. It's just a theme. Stop being weird.
Did the
I
blue
also got
people win? Did
nominated.
the red people win? I
There
mean,
was not it was not a war, John.
y'all
It
should have
was
put
just a
a
theme.
y'all should have put at least a head count
Oh my
value. I
god.
mean, end of the
So
night, give them a
anyways, as I
Walmart
was
gift card or
saying,
something.
I was upset about my prom only for meme reasons. I had a good time actually.
For
But I had told
meme?
everyone. Yes, I told all my friends, if they don't play Natasha Bedingfield at prom, I'm not gonna enjoy it. And they did not play Natasha Bedingfield at prom.
Did you
Therefore,
request Natasha Bedingfield at your prom?
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Probably
Mhm,
not, because I'm
mhm.
socially awkward.
Yep. Someone didn't go to homeschool.
Yeah, I didn't learn how to talk to my family, I guess.
I was socially involved.
You were something alright.
If I
uh,
wanted Natasha Bedingfield at my prom, I would have got Natasha Bedingfield at my prom. Not
yeah.
on the radio. I mean in person. She would have
Oh,
been there.
snap. Nepotism. Got it. So anyways. Yeah, I remember prom being pretty fun though. I didn't go with anybody. I went with my friends. The person that I did ask to go to prom was like, "No, it's okay. I was gonna go alone or like go with my friends." I was like, "You know what? That's totally fair." Because this is the same person who I had a crush on her. My senior year of high school. We were
Mhm, mhm.
pretty good friends, and we went to homecoming together, which is pretty cool. So I was like, maybe try prom too. But she was like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and then I cried my ass. No I'm kidding.
I cried in the bleachers. I smoked a cigarette. Then I went inside and drank from the punch bowl.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it wasn't spiked.
Yeah, there's not enough high school shenanigans anymore.
Yeah, I
Well,
say
I'd take
unfortunately, I'm glad
yeah,
it wasn't spiked. I was a good kid, actually.
yeah, that would have damned you to hell instantly.
Yeah,
Drinking that little bit of vodka.
I didn't have my first drink or sip of a drink until I was 19.
Good, good. Solid choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to hell like some people.
I waited till I was 21, I think. Actually don't remember now.
So like technically, I guess I would have it would have been illegal when I did it because excuse me, it was my godmother who like let me drink some of it. She had it was a Moscato. It was Yellowtail Moscato, and she let me like have a taste of
Ooh.
it. And I was like, this isn't bad. It kind of tastes gross though. uh,
Yeah.
but like she wasn't my legal guardian or anything. Because at that point, I
Oh.
was emancipated, I guess. I think. Well, I mean, because my grandma was my like, legal guardian, but then I moved away, and then this was I think during Thanksgiving, my freshman year of college, so I didn't really have a legal guardian anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that checks out.
So technically, it was illegal. And then I think the other times that I drank underage was because of you.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that. That didn't
Yeah, hey John,
happen.
remember that time when you gave me an underage minor alcohol?
I don't recall that, and I don't think it ever happened. But if it did, it was because you lied about your age.
That's definitely not true at all. You knew that I wasn't your age. I met you when I met you
Yeah,
when I
I
was
knew you weren't
19.
my age. I didn't know how old you were, if it even
John,
happened, which is not
John,
true.
you know good and damn well you knew how old I was. I met you
How
when I
could
was
I possibly know
19.
that? That
I
was
don't think
multiple years ago now.
let's see, because we met when I was 19. Um and then we didn't really hang out much until I came back from suspension. So at that point I was already 20.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds
Because
about
then
right.
after that, I think because we didn't really hang out maybe once or twice that first semester that we knew each other.
Yeah, that's because you were weird. You were not socially good.
No, I don't think that's why. I think you were just like, I need friends, but I don't know who to be friends with. Maybe that one guy that I keep getting paired with in this one class every single time by complete chance. Like the RNG was in our favor, I guess.
It did work out. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. And then when I moved back to school, you messaged me. You're like, "Hey, want to hang out?" Or like, I don't think you asked for want to hang out. I think that it started off, "Hey, I think we're pretty good. Like we have pretty good chemistry together. Do you want to start a YouTube channel and do sketch comedy?" And I was like, "Sure."
I don't recall if it was the YouTube one that was, like, first. I think
Or
we
maybe it was
had
just sketch comedy was
yeah, well, because we were doing a lot of the, like,
a
uh,
lot of
random scenes in that acting
yeah,
class.
a lot of improv.
Yeah, and so it sort of evolved from we were having to do the stuff that we were already doing to, "Well, why don't we do this because it's also fun?"
It was a lot of fun.
Like, what if we went from doing The Bench or whatever the one that we were doing, and
I think
then
that was the first one we were gonna do, and then we started writing our own scripts.
yeah, yeah, and it went from because that was part of the class, was I think we had to write or we had to I think we had to adapt
I think so.
a part of a play to make its own story, and that was just unbelievable because you can't even go back and read it now because half of that was in the acting and the
Yeah.
and the scene direction rather than just the breakdown of the words.
Oh, absolutely. Are you thinking of TYA? Theater for Young and I, where we met Jacob? Because that was I think
Ooh,
a year or 2
that
later?
would have been later than that. I
Yeah,
you know,
that's
I
much
don't know
later.
now.
Because that was what, 2021?
And that all kinda runs together in my
It
head.
does. It's been a while. I will say I don't remember exactly, like, how we, like, I think I know I do. So, funny thing is that I was like, I need to make friends in theater, and there was one other person who, like, was kinda socially awkward there, that wasn't you, and, I also found out that he was gay, so I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm somewhere in there, maybe we could be friends," and so I tried. I tried being
Oh,
friends with him,
uh-huh.
but I don't know if maybe he just was not a very social person, but he also kinda seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder and he seemed like a bit of an elitist, how theater kids are.
There were a couple. I met a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Let's be honest. Most of the people in that theater program that are going for acting are like that.
That's why you went with the film side. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. So anyways, but I remember we were doing an improv, and I think it was one where, like, she was giving us direction, and then we would just roll with it and see what's going on, and
Mhm.
so she was like, "Do we have any volunteers?" And I said, "You know what? I'm trying to be a lot more, confident and brave, so screw it, I'll go." And I think you were also like, "Sure, I'll go too." And I think the only thing we were given is, "You have this pig."
Yeah.
And I
That
think we
was,
were
I think,
supposed
the
to
very
sew the pig at first, but somehow we went from trying to sew the pig to, "We have to go to this ranch so we can sacrifice this pig to our pig god Ganesh."
Yeah, we should probably write this script down
I don't
as a
even
bit.
We don't even have a script for it is the thing. It
Yeah.
was complete 100% improv.
It was
I
it was
feel
pretty much made up on the spot.
it was made up on the
Yeah.
spot, which is why I was like, "Whoa, that was kinda cool." And then from that point on, in that entire semester, we just kept getting because our professor would draw names from a hat, and that's how it would decide who our partner was. And every single project, she pulled me and John. And part of me is like, I wonder if it was on purpose.
It could have been. She could have liked our chemistry, but it did seem random, to be totally
It
honest
did
with you.
seem random, but she's also like a professional actress. So
That's
who
true. That's
knows?
true. She picked up the thing and she went, "Well, this says Tom." John. Like, all right, okay. Then she tossed the name out. She go, okay, I gotta remember to pair Tom up with somebody else.
she was like, no, these two, they have something special.
Then I think at one point that we had to pick our partners, and we were
Yeah,
already partnered up. We're like, well, why don't we just stay partnered up here?
yeah.
We don't
I
have to
think at
worry
that
about
point we
getting with
were
the rest of
already
those randos.
Yeah, I think at that point we had kind of tried like started hanging out a little bit outside of class. And then I think we had that one where it's like, yeah, pick your partner, and everybody was already joining up or whatever. And I was like, well, we kind of work together good already.
Yep. Yep.
Might as well. And now look at us. Alpha Male Podcast, brother.
Hell yeah. Still going strong.
Good shit.
4 years later?
4 years.
5 years?
Yeah, this is season
This is season.
4. Is
Yeah, I
this
think
season
so.
4?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good shit. We need a theme song. How have we gone? What
We
we've been doing
had a
Lame
thing. We
Ollie
made
John
a
for like
theme song.
Yeah, we've done nothing with it.
Oh, yeah, I get
W
well, the
we haven't
video
even put it on the
exists.
YouTube.
It's on the YouTube, though I think it's privated,
It's
though.
private or, like, unlisted, yeah.
That's 'cause you know why? It's because it's in my disaster of a room, and I think there's a pizza box in the foreground that's
We
not
just need the
sponsored.
audio.
I guess that's true, yeah.
But, I don't know, we gotta get back. I keep People have been asking me, "When are you guys gonna continue doing the sketch comedy?" And I'm like, "Well, John doesn't live here,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't live there." And they're like, "Why don't you do it remote?" And it's like, "It's not the same."
Yeah, we could do it over Skype. Oh, well, Skype is dead. We could
Zoom,
do it yeah, yeah.
Discord. I mean, we could do Lamb a la John season 3 or whatever season it is. And it's just the long we could say it's the pandemic. We could
Yeah.
phrase it
Yeah.
as
The
the COVID
remote work
Chronicles.
episodes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, these were all episodes that just never aired. Totally.
They are technically, at
I think we
least
have a couple, don't
there are
we?
4 unedited episodes that are still out there.
Are we Is that going to be the Lodge archives?
I mean, if I ever get around to actually editing them, yeah.
We should probably do that
They
then. Maybe it'll get us back into the spirit of things.
could be, yeah. Yeah,
Or
there's just
we
so
could
much going on.
That is
I
also fair.
I have, like ugh. To update on general health, I'm getting close to the end, but man, am I just tired. I eh, when they say like, "Oh yeah, don't do carbs."
Yeah,
You need carbs. You
you
need
do need carbs.
100%. You know how
That's where a
low
lot of
my
your energy
energy
comes
level
from.
Yeah. It takes energy for your body to convert proteins and fats into carbs. Well, I mean, they don't do that, right? They just convert it into energy, but converting it from carbs is way easier than converting it from fats and proteins. And I have woken up, I mean, for the past probably 2 weeks since I went back on a big uh cut basically for this next month trying to get down by my birthday.
Yeah.
Ah, it's brutal. I go to bed every night exhausted and I wake up exhausted and then I finally get to eat and I'm like, "Okay, I feel okay for a little while." And then I start running out of energy again.
Damn. Do you, like, take supplements for is that a thing that you can do?
You
Like,
like a
carb
like a multivitamin?
supplements? I
Oh, carb
guess?
supplements?
I don't know if that's a
I
thing.
think a carb supplement is like a caffeine pill.
Oh,
And theoretically I could, but uh
don't do that. It's dangerous.
yeah, I don't really like I mean, I already try to limit my caffeine intake. I
Yeah.
mean, okay. Back when we did the 8x8x8, which was well, a
Oh,
month
yeah.
ago now, we
Damn.
bought
You mean the 9 by
Monster
9 by 9?
sorry, yeah, the 9 by 9 what did I say? 8x8? Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Big fan.
I'm looking at an 8 on my screen over here. Uh, yeah, but the 9 by 9 by 9, we bought Monsters so that we could have the energy to push through, like in case we needed it, and because everybody else was saying, yeah, we should drink it beforehand. That way we have it coursing through our system. We'll be hungrier. And I decided not to drink it. I still have it. About a month
Mhm.
later, I've considered drinking it a couple of times, but I am constantly reminded by my purging of my kidney stones like 3
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago. I'm
I
pretty sure
remember that.
I think I told this on the podcast.
I think
I'm
so, yeah.
still traumatized to the point where I don't want to drink it because I know what it's doing inside.
Mm, mm.
But I mean, I need it. I need the energy so bad.
That's Yeah, being healthy sucks.
It's far less it's far more effort. That's what I can tell. I can tell you that from personal experience. Yeah, it's great to be closer to a number and closer to a healthier weight, but I feel worse. At least right now. Whenever I am on my cut not my cut back, but my non when I raise maintenance, sorry, when I raise my calories back up to maintenance, oh, I feel
Mhm.
so much better. I feel alive again. I'm not exhausted. Yeah, it's honestly, I feel like I'm probably going too hard, but
Uh-huh.
I'm pushing right to the end to try and get there. Then once I get there, I can back off and I don't have to be miserable.
Yeah,
But
you're like you're pushing your body to the limit, but once you finally make it to where you're trying to go, then you can just take it easy.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's tiring. It really is. And it's every day, bro. It's every day.
Don't ever talk to me like that again. Ever
I'm
again.
just I'm just tired, man. I
Mhm.
want to sleep all the time. Well, to be fair, I also may have gotten sick on Wednesday last week,
Mhm.
and I'm still suffering the fallout from it. But it's bad. I'm noticing more and more. Okay, for the longest time, I got sick maybe once every year, every
Yeah.
other year, maybe. That I completely 100% attribute to my extra store of fat.
Yeah, you had a lot
It's
more
like a
protection.
superpower.
Mhm.
Like, if there's one thing, well, that and being able to sit on anything. I can't sit on anything anymore. I'm sitting on a cushioned chair with a pillow, and it still hurts. My tailbone is
Oh
sad.
yeah. You did talk about that, I think a
It
few weeks ago.
it still hurts. It's something that I deal with every single day, and I wish I had more padding. But that and my newfound ability to get sick are two things that I wish I could not have. Because I think I got sick
Yeah.
on Wednesday, and then I was feeling awful on Thursday to the point where I worked. I think I worked like a half shift and then clocked out and went to like just to sleep
Yeah.
immediately because I
Good
was working
lord.
in my bed, and then I closed my laptop, put it on the side, leaned back, and woke up at midnight,
I
like
mean,
6 hours later.
I think what it could be is because your body's working overtime since you're not, absorbing any of the carbs and stuff. So it's already kind of running on fumes a little bit.
Uh huh.
And because of that, your body's working extra hard. And so I think by doing that, it might like your immune system might be a little bit more compromisable since you have less energy for your body to focus on protecting you, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not a scientist or a nutritionist. My screaming black, help!
You. You're what? Oh, you're
My
screaming
computer just
black.
went to sleep. Wake up.
Oh,
Oh, we're back. We're good.
yeah. There was no break here, so hopefully we're all
All
good.
right, that's good. That's good.
I mean, I'm in and out of hospital rooms so much that, well, hospitals in general. And if you go to a hospital, that's like, I'm pretty sure that's where you get sick. You go
Hmm.
there to cure your sickness if you happen to get it somewhere else. But because that's where you go when you're contagious and ill, you're getting everybody else in there contagious and ill because that's where you are. The highest proximity of sick people is in a hospital.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's
That's
it's
what a hospital's for.
yep, it's not great. It's stressful.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, like, because I get sick so rarely, or I used to get sick so rarely, now I get sick more often. I think it also, I don't know if it mimics the symptoms of depression or if I just get depressed when I get sick because I got hit with that wave on like Thursday when I woke up at midnight and went, I am sick. This is what sick feels like. I have to be sick. Also just went, all right, uh, this is it for me. I'm
Mm.
not gonna make it out of this. I think this is the end. Just that wave of depressed sadness going, well, this is how I go out. Man, this is sad.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
I wish this wasn't the end. And then I just laid back and went, yeah, yep.
He's like, "This is it. I've made it this far. I guess I'm 27. So it makes
Yep.
sense.
Yeah, it would happen before I get out of the 27s.
You've only got like you got like 2 weeks left.
Yeah,
Th-
and now it's all over. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting better. I think I'm not sick. I am still
I hear you sound a little
s
stuffy now.
I am, yeah. My
I didn't
nose
realize
is
it
getting
before.
is, there's some phlegm? Maybe that's not what it is.
Mucus?
Yeah, there's something up there. I've
Yuck.
sneezed a whole lot. I probably need to do just, like, a deep clean. I mean, I did a deep clean of my whole room maybe a month ago.
Hmm.
I probably need to do it again. I did the spring cleaning bit. Now I should spring clean again.
Yeah, I need to deep clean my room, but I just have too much stuff. I went over to my friend's house actually. You remember Caleb?
Mhm.
So he has his own place. I hadn't been. He moved, I think, in December, and so I was finally able to go to his place and hang out. He lives over in Hewlin area. I think 2 Saturdays ago now, so 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Um, and it's not a big place, but it feels very spacious. And so I was just like looking at all of his stuff, and like he used to have all of his stuff packed in his room because he used to live with his parents. He used to just have a room,
Oh,
and so all of
sure.
his stuff was in there. And like he was able to like put a lot of his stuff away, but he still had a lot of stuff. And it just had me thinking, if I had my own place, it wouldn't be as much stuff as I think it is. But because all my stuff is contained in my one bedroom as opposed to a whole apartment, it feels like I have no space for anything.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that. I mean, I'm in a one-room situation with the addition of an office where I have a computer desk and a shelf.
Yeah.
I take up 5 walls worth of that's where my existence is. I'm 5 walls. 4
Yeah,
walls are a room, then I have 2 walls in another room.
that's 6.
Oh, well, yeah, I get b true. Well, it's okay.
Is one of the walls shared with your bedroom? Is that what it is?
That's because I'm looking at half of a wall in front of me and
Uh-huh.
then a quarter of a smaller wall on the side. So
That rounds up to 1.
yeah, I would say that rounds up to 1. And then my bed takes up part of the wall space in the
Got it.
bedroom. So it's another half a wall. Yeah, yeah. So it's like 4.5.
I mean, you've seen my room before. I guess you haven't seen it since I've, like, updated it,
Oh, I know your bed
recently.
takes up a corner at the very least.
Not even a corner, it's pretty much the whole wall. It's the same wall as my door.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but, like, with all the stuff that I have, because I got an entertainment system for my TV and stuff, it's like the amount of wall space I really have in my room at this point is about the size of a dresser, like, wide. Um,
Yeah.
so I
You
also do
gotta
have this
pack
bike in
down, that's
here.
for sure.
Yeah, I am very compact in here. And it's reached points where like I have a storage bin that I bought because I was like, I have too much stuff, let me just throw stuff in here. But it's like most of the stuff that I have out here is just stuff that doesn't really need to be put away. Because all the stuff that needs to be put away is already put away.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I just have extra storage now, I guess. But
Hey,
like,
that's good. You could buy more stuff and put it in the box.
stop it. You're being a bad influence. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would be cool to move out of here soon. Maybe by like, because I have a lease for the rest until this summer, and then I already signed a lease until next summer. So I think by the end of next lease, I want to see if I can get a different place.
Yeah.
By the way, audience, if you were curious, the word that I called John was
Oh,